Hello leaders, you're listening to In Between, a higher self-leadership podcast. I'm Valarie Sandjivy, a business coach and leadership mentor. In my podcast, I wish to share my awareness on higher self-leadership and how we can integrate it in our leadership practice every day and see results. Higher self-leadership is in the awareness. Hello everybody, and welcome back to In Between, a higher self-leadership podcast. A few episodes ago, I spoke about acceptance in the leadership world. And today I feel that I want to bring a new perspective around acceptance. And acceptance being an activation and not a renunciation. And I want to explain myself around that. I feel that we misuse and misunderstand in the leadership space what acceptance means. So let's dive again in acceptance. I remember when I was young, so much younger, people around me, and it's part of some culture and some philosophies. Accept this is what's happening, accept that is your destiny, accept that what it is. And I would see around me some people doing that, and some culture as well, accepting this faith, accepting this destiny, accepting what was happening. And for me, it was not okay. It was excruciating to accept. It didn't make sense. So I was so much in reaction, because now I understand that I was not understanding what acceptance meant. At that time, I would understand that acceptance was giving up, to settle, to do nothing. But actually, that's not how it works. I felt that acceptance was a surrender to powerlessness, but it's not. Actually, it's very much a return to our own power. I felt acceptance was passive, a resignation, but actually it's not. It's more a presence. It's to be open to something else. And actually, by not accepting at that time, I was very much resisting the experience, resisting what my soul wanted to show me, resisting the shortcut. So my energy was leaking in trying to fix the issue, in trying to fix the problem. As I mentioned, I think a few times, I was a very good problem solver for myself, for the companies I work, for my own business, for my clients. But actually, it's not about fixing. It's not about solving problems. Acceptance is accepting what is happening now as the best experience for us to go through a transformation, a breakthrough, or a change. And if we accept that this is the best way for us to quantum leap, to thrive, then clarity will emerge faster. The moment we stop fighting the situation, the moment we stop needing it to be different in order to feel safe or worthy or competent or knowing everything, then something is ready to shift. Each time that we judge that it should have been like this, it should have been better, the numbers should have been better, we should have done a better project. Each time that we think it should have been better, instead of thinking and seeing for what it is, just an experience that we are living, and if we accept the experience for the experience, then we'll move faster to what it meant. It's not about failure. It's not passivity, like I said. Actually, it's a quantum leap. We go through a deeper understanding, and if we do that, except of resisting and fighting and judging, then we will move faster, we will thrive better. So if I decide to stop resisting the experience, then clarity will be able to come, because in the resistance, we fill up our energy with resistance, with anger, with emotions, And then there is no space for the clarity. There is no space for the breakthrough. We are filled up with our emotions, and so there is no space for the wisdom. So that's what it is to accept. To accept this is the best experience and stop fighting and stop trying to fix everything. But to hold the space and to trust that this experience is here to show us something. And if I act from there versus acting from panic, from denial, from illusion of control, if I act with knowing deep within me that this is the best situation and I'm holding the space to understand what through this experience, what is behind this experience, then I will move faster. We all have been in a situation where you hire one person and it's not the right person, it's not the right fit, where you make an offer and the client doesn't answer well to this offer. You sell a product and it doesn't have the right return. It didn't meet the expectation. And if I start to judge, I'm delaying the experience because there is always a gift. So we feel acceptance is passive, but actually it's not. It's not waiting. It's holding the space to be fully present to what it is now, to what is happening now, to the experience. And by holding that, holding this space, not with any emotions and any judgment, then the next piece of the puzzle will drop very fast. But in order for the wisdom, the essence of the experience to come through, we need to see the situation for what it is, without judgment, without fighting again. So it's not so much resignation, like I said before, but it's more like really accepting it for what it is. And of course, our ego wants to resist it. Our ego says, okay, let's go back in control. Let's try to fix it. Let's try to understand where we failed, because it brings a lot of discomfort. And holding this discomfort is part of what acceptance is. And it's not easy to hold the discomfort. But if I'm able to hold the discomfort of the situation and the experience, then I'm able to hold as well the space for the wisdom to land. So the process, if we want to summarize the process, is when something is happening, acceptance is to go back to the energetic neutrality. Stay in, stay very present, and then you can go in the meta position and look at what's happening. Not trying to fix it, just with this awareness, and ask the question, okay, what's the wisdom? What's this experience is showing me? And then be open to receive the power, your power, the power of your soul. Because actually, if we do that, we are very much in a co-creation game versus playing against. So we move really from the friction of this experience, from the flow that wants to get in. And of course we resist, we all do, because that's the way we've been raised, to fix problems. So acceptance is not a renunciation, it's very much being present. It's not about things are predestined. It's about I'm going through the best experience as a leader to go and to thrive and to quantum leap. And if I accept, not in a passive way, but in a very active awareness of what is happening, then it means I can hold the space for the wisdom to land. And then that's how I can collapse time. So we can all ask ourselves this question: when in our life or in our leadership are we still trying to change something before we've truly accepted it? And what becomes possible when we stop resisting and start listening to our higher self, who is trying to show us the shortcut, where our ego wants to maintain the control and thinks that this is the way to go, when it's not. So next time that we are facing an experience, let's take a minute and say, okay, I'm going to fully accept that for what it is, and I'm going to get the wisdom and to go through it. And then I'm sure our life is going to transform a lot faster. That's what happened to me anyway. So that's why I wanted to add this piece around acceptance that was not part of the last podcast around acceptance. Thank you for listening. Leadership in Action. See you soon in the next episode.